What's up, YouTube? T Movies here. Since yesterday was acclaimed filmmaker Stanley Kubrick's birthday, I decided to do my top 10 favorite Stanley Kubrick movies because he's pretty much he was one of the greatest filmmakers of all time. He's directed some really great high profile quality stuff, and I really like the guy's work. So with that being said, here's my list. All right, coming in at number 10 is going to be Paths to Glory, which is pretty much one of the most powerful anti-war films ever made. And it stars Kirk Douglas as a World War One French colonel who ends up going head-to-head with the Army's ruthless top brass when his men are accused of cowardice after being unable to carry out an impossible mission. So, yeah, I mean, it's a really interesting, powerful war film. It is a World War One movie, which you don't really get. There's more World War Two movies than World War One movies, and this is probably one of the best World War One movies I've ever seen. It's really powerful. Kirk Douglas was just great in this film. It had some really great performances, and if you guys never seen Past the Glory, go check it out. It's a really good one. All right, coming in at number 9 is going to be Eyes Wide Shut. Now, Eyes Wide Shut is a let me just say, it's a very provocative film. And when I mean provocative, I mean provocative. In the film, it stars Tom Cruise, as this doctor whose wife, Nicole Kidman, ends up telling him that she has sexual fantasies and all. And so one day, he decides to go out and he ends up finding a underground he pretty much finds out that there's sorry about that, guys. Anyway, he goes underground, and it turns out that there's an orgy party down there. So gotta be careful how I say this because I'm literally out in public, and it's a little awkward to really talk about this movie in public. But yeah, it's pretty much a movie about a sex group film. I'll put it that way, and it's a really good one. It's like I said, it's a very provocative movie. Really like the chemistry between Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman. I mean, they were actually married in real life, so of course their chemistry will be outstanding. I mean, the provocative scenes were pretty decent, and I believe this was also Stanley Kubrick's last film, if I'm not mistaken. And he did a really his last film was a really good one. And if you guys never seen Eyes Wide Shut, go check it out. I think you'll enjoy it. It's an awkward movie to watch. I'll warn you there, but yeah. Anyway, coming in at number 8. Coming in at number 8 is going to be a film called Barry London. The film takes place in 18th century, and it takes place in a small village in Ireland. And the character of Redman Barry is a young farm boy who is in love with his cousin Nora Brady. And so Nora ends up getting engaged to the British captain John Quinn. And so Barry ends up challenging him to a duel of pistols, and he ends up winning and escapes to Dublin, but ends up being robbed on the road without any alternative. Barry ends up joining the British Army to fight the 70-year wars and all. And he, of course, ends up deserting. He ends up becoming deserted and is forced to join the Peruvian army, where he saves the lives of his captains and becomes the Parige and spy of the Irish gambler Cavalier de Ballyberry. And so, yeah, it's a really interesting film. I mean, the film actually got released in 1975. Boy, really old film. And it also starred like a pretty interesting cast. Like you had Ryan O'Neal was in this, and Ryan O'Neal I thought was really great. I mean, he was like a child actor and all, and he was pretty decent in this part. You had Gay Hamilton as the character Nora Bradley. Marissa Branson was in this. Patrick McGee played Xavier. Some pretty interesting cast members. And it's a really cool period piece film. It's also based on like a book, and it's really good. Like if you guys never seen Barry London by now, go check it out. It's really decent. All right, coming in at number 7 is going to be 2001: A Space Odyssey. Probably one, like, you know, sci-fi movies you see today were impacted by 2001: A Space Odyssey. I mean, Star Wars, like 2001, of course, got released before Star Wars got released, so you can see that Star Wars, was an impact by this film. Lots of sci-fi films you see today were impacted by 2001, whether it's The Martian or any other space adventure movies like that. But I mean, of course, you know, you got the amazing robot HAL 3000, who is great. You got Kurt Dulula, who plays the character of Dave Bowman, who ends up becoming trapped in outer space, and his best friend is HAL 3000. I thought Kia Delua gave a pretty solid performance in this part, and I mean it had some really cool effects at the times. Uh, the voice of HAL 3000 was pretty cool. I mean, it's a really decent film, and if you guys never seen 2001 by now, it's probably one of the best sci-fi movies of that era. Like, it's a really good one. All right, coming in at number 6 is going to be Lolita, which is of course penned by. It's also based on a book, and it's also scripted by the author of the book, and it's a very controversial film. It's pretty much a tale of forbidden love to screen, and it stars James Mason as a character named Humbert, who's a professor who relocates to an American suburb, and he's pretty much renting a room from like a lonely widow named Charlotte Hayes, played by Shelley Winters, and so Humbert ends up marrying Charlotte, but he ends up falling in love with. But he ends up falling heads over here for Charlotte's teenage daughter. So this is probably a movie that probably wouldn't get made today. I mean, pretty much James Mason's character, I'm just gonna say, was pretty much a pedophile, and it's kind of a weird love story. But Stanley Kubrick, he knows weird. He did a movie about a sex group, so the guy knows weird. And this is pretty much also pretty awkward. Like I said, this movie would not at all get made today, but it's still a pretty decent movie. Sue Lyon, gave a pretty good performance. Shelley Winters who played Charlotte Hayes. She was great. Like, her character also ends up dying in it too. So after that, that's when he ends up falling for her. Of course, James Mason he's James Mason. He was just iconic in his own parts. Really terrific movie. Great performances all around. Like, if you guys never seen this movie yet, go check it out. I think you'll enjoy it. All right, coming in at number 5 is going to be probably one of my favorite war movies, Full Metal Jacket. I mean, you got the late great Lee Ermey as famed drill sergeant, who's like a very foul mouth. You got Vincent D'Onofrio in this as a. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. I am. Yeah. Oh, what's his name? Ernest. Ernest. Oh, we're friends on Facebook actually. Yeah. Hey, good. Don't mind me. I'm kind of in the middle of a video, so it's cool. All right. All right. Take care, bud. Anyway. Sorry about that. My uncle's friend, came over to say hi. But anyway, now back to Full Metal Jacket because I gotta talk about Full Metal Jacket. I mean, not so long ago I did my 10 favorite military movies, and Full Metal Jacket was of course in that list. I just love this movie. It has some real it's not really much of a comedy to be honest with you, but it actually has some really great laughs. I mean, Ollie Ermy as the great drill sergeant. I mean, his dialogues in this movie was outstanding. I loved Ollie Ermy's dialogues. You also had Vincent D'Onofrio, Matthew Modine was in this, Adam Baldwin. Great cast. I mean, it's great. This is literally a movie that makes me not even want to join the army. Like, I'm seriously. Like, a film like this is really the reason why I would never join the military. Like, they are, you could see how hard drill sergeants are on you, and yeah, I mean, quite enjoy the film, I mean, if you guys never seen Full Metal Jacket by now, it's, to me, it's pretty much one of the best, it is the best war movie ever. Like, I just love this movie, and, well, I haven't really watched this film for a while. I gotta rewatch it again. I really quite enjoy this movie a lot. I mean, they usually play around, maybe Veterans Day once in a while, so if it's premiering, on Veterans Day, I'm probably gonna rewatch it again, because I really quite enjoy this movie. And if you guys never see Full Metal Jacket, do yourself a favor, watch it. You'll love it. All right, coming in at number 4 is going to be Doctor Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb. To be honest, I just called it Doctor Strangelove. I never really cared for the real name of it. But I mean, this film is pretty much a film about what could happen if someone if the wrong person pushed the wrong button, and it plays out in a situation for laughs. And you got U.S. Air Force General Jack Ripper, who ends up going completely insane and sends his bomber wing to destroy the USSR. And so he thinks the communists are conspiring to populate the precious bodily fluid of the American people and all. And I mean, you got Pierre Weller in this. Who doesn't love Pierre Weller? You got some pretty good cast members here. The film also got released in full-on black and white. And I mean, you had James Earl Jones in this, George C. Scott, Sterling Hayden was in this. Really great cast. Has some really great one-liners. I guess you could consider this as a spoof movie. It's really great. I mean, Pierce Sellers was the king of these type of movies. Whether you're talking about but anyway, yeah, I really quite enjoy this movie. And if you guys never seen Doctor Strangelove, definitely check it out. I think you'll love Doctor Strangelove. I mean, this is definitely a movie that won't get made today. But if you guys still never seen it, definitely give it a go. All right, coming in at now, this is one movie that would never get made today. Number 3 is Clockwork Orange. This is really a movie that would never ever get made today. This movie is, I mean, I believe it almost got an NC-17 rating if I'm not mistaken. I mean, it has some really gross out stuff in it, and the film takes place in England of the future, and you got Alex played by Malcolm McDowell, and his troops spends their night getting high at the Corolla milk bar before embarking on a low of life of the old ultra violence, and so while generally warbling "Sing in the Rain," of course he's singing the song "Sing in the Rain" in this. He ends up being in jail for blood laundering, and so he pretty much submits to a behavior of motivation, and he ends up having a condition to a bar of violence. And this movie is it's a pretty violent movie. Like, this movie holds no bars. No, it is based on a book. Uh, Malcolm McDowell was just outstanding in this film. Probably that. Yeah, I mean, you also had Warren Clark was in this. You had Peter McGee was in this film. Micah Bates. Some really interesting cast members was in this, and it's a good movie. Just really a weird one, but still pretty good. And if you guys never seen Clockwork Orange, go check it out. I think you'll. It's pretty much a classic. You know, the movie got released in 1971, and I believe it still holds up today. And it's a really good one. So definitely go check out Clockwork Orange if you guys haven't seen that. All right. Coming in at number 2 is Spartacus. Now, of course, it stars Kirk Douglas as pretty much Spartacus, who's like born and raised into slave, and so like he ends up like he ends up being sold to a gladiator trainer named Batticus, who after like weeks of being trained to kill to the arena, Spartacus turns on his like owners and like leads the others slaves in rebellion. I think it's about rain, so I better make this my last video. But anyway, Spartacus is it's probably maybe Kirk Douglas's best work. Like down the line, I'm probably going to do my favorite Kirk Douglas films, and this is definitely going to be one of them. Like you also had Gene Simmons, Laurence Olivier, Peter Ustinov, Charles Lawton. I mean, a really decent cast. I mean, this is definitely one of like Kubrick's finest works, one of Kirk Douglas's best work. I mean, can you guys believe that Kirk Douglas is 101 years old now? He's 101 and still going strong too. I mean, what a great guy Kirk Douglas is. He's of course the dad of Michael Douglas. Kirk Douglas is just the man. So yeah, I mean, he's pretty much an icon, and he's been in some of the best work, and this is of course the best work of his. If you guys never seen Spartacus, of course, look, we of course had the TV show of Spartacus and Gladiator, and of course we had 300. But this is a really decent one, and yeah, definitely check out Spartacus if you guys never seen it. All right, my number one favorite is going to be The Shining, based on a book by Stephen King, starring Jack Nicholson, Shelley Duvall, Danny Lloyd, those two little creepy twin girls. I mean, The Shining, what not to like about The Shining? It's one of the creepiest horror films of all time. Jack Nicholson, probably one of his best performances. Like, he's creepy in it, too. I mean, of course, it had that line, "Here's Johnny." I mean, what a creepy. Like, I cannot do Jack Nicholson, by the way, so that was a terrible Jack Nicholson impersonation, and I'll try not to do that again. But, yeah, I mean, Shelley Duvall, probably one of her finest performances. I mean, this movie is just creepy around. Like, believe it or not, Stephen King does not even like this movie. I mean, I'm kind of surprised because I really always thought everyone liked The Shining. Turns out the author of the book, Stephen King, doesn't like it. So it's kind of disappointing to hear. But hey, I mean, from what I heard, the author Willy Wonka did not like the film version. So I guess you can't always, you can't always win over authors. I'm guessing, but yeah, if you guys never checked out The Shining, do yourself a favor, watch The Shining. To me, it's Kubrick's best work, and also I cannot wait for the sequel, which is Doctor Sleep, which comes out in November. I'm heads over here looking for that movie. So yeah, but let me leave you guys. Wait, first let me do the quick rundown. All right, Path to Glory. 9. Eyes Wide Shut. 8. Barry London. 7. 2001: A Space Odyssey. 6. Lolita. 5. Full Metal Jacket. 4. Doctor Strangelove. 3. A Clockwork Orange. 2. Spartacus. 1. The Shining. Now, there's loads of other cool Kubrick movies that got released over the years, like now, granted, I have not seen all of his work, so I can't really comment on much of his stuff. So these are really the films I actually seen of his. He also did. Actually, that's all the movies I've seen of his. Really, I don't think I've seen any of his other stuff. But anyway, let me just leave it to you guys. What are some of your favorite Stanley Kubrick movies? Because I gotta get going because my computer is one step closer to dying. So just go ahead. Head out now.
Somebody white. It's not okay. Not okay.
See, guys, that's why you don't mix. That's why you don't mix heroin with meth. There you go. But anyway, now as I was saying, let me leave it to you guys. What are some of your favorite Stanley Kubrick movies? Drop a comment below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for more notifications. This here is T Movies signing off.